Welcome to Can Angels Fly? I'm Nancy. And let's talk. Let's just talk. Why not? Let's just talk. What are we going to talk about? Everything. Everything. I'm a TMI. I'm a fill in some gaps, and we just going to talk. Just come ride the wave with me. Okay. Well, I decided to make this video to make it clear who I am and why I do what I do. And also to give a warning out when dealing with psychics and prophecy and different things like that. Of course, there's no structure to this video. I'm just talking. Let's talk. When it comes to psychics and mediums and all that kind of stuff, you know, it does have it has great benefits and potential and and just a host of wonderful things that can enhance your life. Me, for example, it took me, it seems like forever to get where I am today. But I always say in my videos, I was slowly walked here. You hear me say over and over again, I've been through the educational system, life experiences, religion, all kind of things. I went to school for art history. Did a lot of historical studies and stuff. And between that, life, oh my goodness, life. I ultimately was led here. Here where? Here on YouTube, reading tarot cards and astrology and stuff. I let everybody know I'm an amateur astrologer. I feel like it's really important for me to let my viewers know and clients and potential clients know who I really am. And again, why I do what I do. And I'm also talking on behalf of other psychics and mediums. Not that they asked me to. I'm just going to. Because I want to. And what do I mean by that? Let me make it clear. We each have different lives. And we come to enlightenment at different paces. Some people are really rooted in their root chakra and in this physical world, where there are others on the other side of the spectrum or continuum that are more spiritually inclined. When you are so spiritually inclined, you tend to kind of lose out on the root chakra stuff, the material world. But if you are grounded in the root chakra, the material world, then you kind of lose out on spirituality. It has to be a balance. So, psychics are usually more in tune with the spirit than so much the physical world. They are able to profit or benefit from that state of being more spiritually inclined, but yet having the ability to balance it in this world, which brings about the profit. It can also happen in the opposite direction. A person is more physically or physically or materially or root chakra based, but are able to balance it with the physical. They've taken time to see, and that's what I'm trying to get to. Remember, this video is just about everything, so I'm just rambling, just talking. Let's talk. I, as well as other psychics, or mediums, however you want to categorize them, clairvoyant, are able to tap into what may seem to be unknown to many. And that happens because some, again, are more spiritually inclined. They're more in tune. They pay attention. Why do they pay attention? Well, most likely because they have had more time. Their life has permitted them to have more time. Some have gone through very traumatic kind of experiences that opened up portals in order to gain understanding, clarity, and enlightenment. Others have been granted a gift in their lineage, handed down from generation to generation. But it still has to do with the experience of the ancestors and the information and the awareness that they hand down. We call it basically listening to your mama, your grandmama, your granddad, and all them people that told you something. Did you pay attention? Okay. That ability to pay attention, to be aware, to take that information at heart, and to walk in this world, be in this world and have your experiences and be able to identify when somebody told you something, oop, there you go. Oop, there you go. Or to apply some information, applied knowledge, wisdom. Oh, yeah, grandma told me about that, so I know what to do here. Or mama told me about that, I know what to do here. Or daddy or granddad told me about that, and I know what to do here. Those are some of the things that are the source of psychic abilities. As I mentioned, it can also go down into a person's psychological state. It is this ability to deal with your own nemesis or demons is what I call them. And that permits you to begin to pay attention to other stuff. Why? Because you're not bombarded down with your own personal stuff all the time. Yes, 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 yes. I am, you are, we who, psychics, mediums, clairvoyants, whoever. We still are in this world. We still have these experiences. But it's this awareness of having to deal with it. Do we get suppressed by the stuff sometimes? Of course, we're human. However, what we are offering to you or anyone that inquires of our services is the collection of answers or possibilities due to our ability to have been aware over an extended amount of time. I don't even know if that made sense, but we just talking. And so I bring that up because I want to move into just how much you know, how much you're aware of. You're sitting in the middle of awareness of the information. I'll say that. You're sitting in the middle of information. Enlightenment happens when you become aware of that information. Wisdom occurs when you can apply the information that you've gotten on a particular subject in order to address the situation or issue, circumstance, person, place, thing, whatever. That becomes wisdom. Again, it's nothing really mystical about any of this. It is our perspective. It is the words, the English language, or the language, not just English, just the languages that we use to communicate these kind of things. Let's ground it. Let's make it more attainable, more reachable, more reasonable, more basic. What I'm saying is you too have the ability to be a psychic, clairvoyant, a medium, etc., etc. Pay attention. I just made a video called Alchemist. You too can be an alchemist, a chemist, a magician. All of these things are readily available to anybody within this cup. Cup of what? The world. You know, I always say I deal with everything from the womb to the tomb, and as high as a man and woman can go in this physical vessel, including the advancements offered to us through technology. That's what I deal with. Sometimes I go outside the realm, but mostly it's about this realm. Where do I want to go from here? Well, you see, I wrote some things, some points on my board because we just talking. Let's talk. This earth, this earth. As you see, I have this earth as a paradise or as a hell. Why do I have those 2 points relative to earth? Again, let's talk about this earth first. This earth is a cup of knowledge. It's everywhere. It's everything. It's everybody. And you have access to it. But the question is, do you have time to pay attention? Are you comprehending what you see? If you have, once again, you're developing your psychic abilities. But if you have not, then you seem to be, or probably are in the blind, unaware, thinking, ooh, it's spooky, or ooh, it's mysticism, or ooh, it's magic. We don't live in historical times, medieval times. You know, we don't live it. We're here right now. At this point in time in the history of humanity, we have learned so much, we know so much, we've discovered so much, we've categorized so much. Earth, paradise or heaven. Well, let's say whoever created this place, create a beautiful, self-contained ecosystem. It feeds, fuels, and runs itself. The water cycles, the plant life, the air, you name it. This earth is a paradise. I can see how at one time it had to be a paradise. However, we came into being however we got here. And we some curious beings. And we're careless. And it's because of some of it. It's because of the unknown entities that's the next one. The unknown entities that we are interacting with that we don't even know we're interacting with. Like the demi-urge, or the urge itself. And one of the urges is our ego. And so we keep moving forward and doing things that end up changing this earth that was once a paradise into a state of hell. And what do I mean by that? Paradise. How did we fall from paradise? How did we begin to descend hell upon this earth? Well, number one, when it comes to this earth, let's think about this earth. I refer back to the video I did called A Lesson in Alchemy, How to Change Shit to Sugar, in which I was talking about the periodic table. It was a time when we didn't know about any of that stuff, and we began to find it, learn about it, apply it. Advancements in technology. Our egos are big. We can become gods. And so we keep pushing and have continued to keep pushing the envelope. Even though it's creating a lot of pollution, we're killing animals for consumption, we are poisoning and contaminating ourselves, and not following the laws, I believe, set forth by universe. century after century, we are not using that information to kind of like enrich our lives. We are, again, profiting from certain things. And I mean, why is the profit thing an issue? Again, ego is about self-survival, survival of the fittest. You gotta have the money in order to make it in this world. That's how our current construct is set up. Therefore, or as a result, we began to create hell, shortages, destruction, different things like that. All of these, how am I trying? I'm trying to say how this earth is a paradise because it is self-contained. When I was pointing out the periodic table in that video I just mentioned, it shows how everything that we need is here. Everything that we need. The basic elements are elements that address healing that may be needed in order to extend our lives. Like fire, we learned to keep us warm. But now we have to pay for it. We have to pay for it in the form of heat because we got refineries. The construct that governs this, our culture, is changing. And it's causing us or leading us to misappropriate to some degree our natural resources. How can I say that better? An example, paradise. Many of the fruit trees that used to exist and you could find just anywhere, even in the inner city, wherever you went, you can find an apple tree, some grapevines, some strawberry vines, some pear trees. You know, they don't exist, at least not around in my community anymore, but they once did. See, that right there was an annual. You could count or come up, and you could just go partake in it. You didn't have to go to a farmer's market. You didn't have to give them your twos or fews. Just go outside, pick your pear, and sit on back and eat it. But under our current construct, those trees, those fruits and vegetables that are annuals that will come back have been contaminated till they don't yield anymore. And why is that? Systematic plan in order to make sure that a person has to go to the grocery store or the farmer's market, bringing us down to a state of hell. Another example, as I mentioned, is like fire. Fire houses were built with natural fireplaces. Of course, it depends on the environment you're in, the amount of heat you need to generate in order to keep yourself safely warm. But to say, you have houses built in an environment that requires you to maintain a certain level of heat during the colder months, and you're able to go outside, take an old dead tree or whatever else, chop it up, burn it in that particular resource in order to have warmth. Now, we've advanced in technology, and now houses don't have natural fireplaces. Not many, some, what we do, we pay the utility company for our heat. We depend on them. If you don't have the money, you don't have heat. And if you don't have a natural fireplace, you don't have an alternative. That's our construct of our world, current culture. Those two are just examples, but it goes across the board. It's across the board. Again, I'm just talking, so don't be looking for any order. don't look for no order. Let me share with y'all something that I was doing. One day I was sitting here and speaking to my higher self, having a dialogue. Yes, I speak to myself, of course. And the dialogue was about, Nancy, have you ever been curious? I was looking out my window. Have you ever been curious about what's surrounding you? Talking about, referring to a plant life. I was like, I'm going to take myself, you're going to take yourself, Nancy, on a nature walk in your community and see what it consists of. But before you go on that nature walk, you must do your research. So I sat here one day, I did my research. And I found out, I started my search with, what was it? Indigenous edible plant life in Michigan. And so I set up and I printed out all of the images and descriptions. I studied for a whole day. The next day, I went on my nature walk. Took my kids with me. They like mama, but they enjoyed it. So we just walked around the community. And I had my book that I had created. And so we're walking around identifying plant life that was edible right here in our community. Things that I would get out into the yard and dig up. God dang, weeds, different stuff like that. I developed appreciation for what was right outside my door. I really did. Anyway, it was this one particular plant or weed that has stuck in my mind. And it's called, God dang it. God dang it, give me a minute. Of course, where my little book at? It's called Queen, oh goodness. And why did I forget that? Of course, because I'm making a video, but I'm just talking. It's called Queen Lace or something like that. Queen something lace. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, short memory. We'll talk about short memory too. So Queen Anne's lace. Queen Anne's lace. That's what she got. This weed is called, or this plant is called Queen Anne's lace. And what I learned was that Queen Anne's lace has lookalikes. One is poisonous and has the potential to kill you. And they look just alike. Well, almost alike. Almost. They're not identical. And those differences is how you tell them apart. So, what was the one that was poisonous? It was called hemlock. Was it hemlock? It was hemlock. Queen Anne's lace. Yes, it's the hemlock. And yellow or something. And the reason I was taken with Queen Anne's lace, beautiful weed, beautiful, is because her properties were amazing right outside my yard. Right outside my house. Beautiful. This earth was a paradise and can be a paradise, but we are making it a state of hell. We're putting things out of reach. Our structures putting things out of reach. We are becoming dumbed down. We don't know. We don't know stuff like what? Like I found out about Queen Anne's lace. And other things. We don't know how to light a fire. Those kind of things. Because we are becoming so dependent on corporations, businesses, etc., putting our power in some other entity's hand. We don't even know if that entity is negative or positive. We're creating on this earth a state of hell. But now back to this Queen Anne's lace. Loved her. I found out that she is a family in a family of the carrot. Her roots can be eaten, you know. But you got to be so careful. Remember, she got this lookalike, and this lookalike is poisonous and deadly. So do your research before you go on your nature walk. And please, before you consume anything. Anyway, this Queen Anne lace has a natural birth control in her seeds. Well, her seeds are a natural birth control. This Queen Anne lace was a bad sister. It was something else about her, but I'm not going to get stuck on that. But I brought her up in that experience to show how this earth is a paradise, how it's self-contained. Everything from, you know how you get a swimming pool, you got to have the filters and all that? Think of all our waters and all the aquatic creatures, how that water is filtered. But we're destroying it with pollution to the water no longer can filter itself, be filtered through the sands and whatever process it goes through. We are creating the hell here on this earth. Paradise, paradise. There are so many different other aspects. Maybe I'll come back to them. I just want to move forward and talk a little bit about the entities that some we can see and can identify. You know, I brought up businesses, corporations, one contrary to our betterment. But it is a part of our current structure. What we going to do? We need to take the power back into our hands. And the only way we can take the power back in our hands is to become knowledgeable and aware. And so I'm jumping everywhere. Then there are other entities that we can't see. Those that are unknown to us in the dark that we may not even believe exist. Some negative, some positive. We have to learn to identify, because remember, we're not just physical, we're also spiritual beings, is that there are negative entities and they don't have our best interests at heart. And there are other positive entities that do have our best interests at heart, and they do try to help us, but we don't hear them, we don't listen, we don't pay attention. We're putting our power into some other entities or persons or corporation or whatever's hands. This video is really not about earth being a heaven and hell. I'm just trying to talk. But I have a question. How important are you? Truly, how important are you in the scheme of things? Well, while you're here, I think you're fairly important. And the reason I say this, remember, this is a self-contained ecosystem. Your body is a vessel, and it's been specially created for you, your spirit, to reside in while in this physical world. And the experiences that you have are so important, because don't let nobody tell you what you know, what you've experienced. And I say that because I made a video. I'm going to bring it full circle in a minute, y'all. I made a video, and it was about, can you sell your soul to the devil? I made that a long time ago. If you want to, you can go check it out. And that topic came up in one of my intimate discussions about whose soul the devil decides to buy. How important are you? Are you important enough for the devil to come try to buy your soul? My argument is, based on my experience, since he attempted to buy mine, yeah, you are. When we hear, I sold my soul to the devil, usually I think for the most part, we think, ooh, it's just the rich and famous. It's that Illuminati stuff. It's the stars, They're very rich and famous. No, it's not. I believe we all are offered something. And anything that we're offered is a part of this world. It's part of this world. Let's look at some examples of if the devil was to try to buy your soul. You know, we don't hear or we don't pay attention to the unseen. Or sometimes even the ones we can't see. Anyway, the devil comes to buy your soul. How do you know that you've entered, oh, I'm let my coffee get cold, a contract with the devil or not? Because people, it's always, it's scary, it's mystical. No. Let's say this. What if your desire was to, I got an example. I think it was back in the 80s. There was some figure skating folks. And they in competition. I mean, it was heated competition. One figure skater assaulted another to bring that figure skater down so that they could be victorious. Both figure skaters were at the top of their game, they field, competing for all the rewards associated with that field. One was moving forward in integrity, doing what they do, doing their figure eights, they spin outs, whatever. They were reaching for their dreams, for their goals, for their ambition. They weren't trying to hurt nobody else, doing their thing. Did that person, or had that person sold their soul to the devil? The answer would seem to be no. They were moving in integrity. Now the other figure skater, reaching for her aims, her ambitions, her goals, she's doing her figure eights and her spin outs, whatever you call them figure skating moves. In competition, this other person that was moving in integrity, this other skater that was moving in integrity had them moves. That person felt inferior, like they wouldn't reach to the top of their game, their goals, their field, and get all the rewards associated with that field. So that figure skater went and basically cut down the other figure skater, put her out of commission. So let me ask this question again, related to this other figure skater. Did they sell their soul to the devil? Possibly. The evidence of a person signing a contract with the devil is revealed through the actions that they take. This particular figure skater I'm talking about went and cut somebody else down, changed their lives, made them lose their goal. I mean, literally changed their life as far as their health. All because they were in their ego, reaching for their goals, only caring about their survival. See, the devil, we talking about the spiritual world. The devil has his criteria. He has his way of doing things, his agenda, etc., etc. If you sign a contract of the devil, you embody his energy and act it out. I got a video out here about that. Now the other figure skater who was moving forward in integrity, doing a thing, not being a threat to anyone other than her skills on the ice. Did she sign a contract with the devil? Well, no, we know she didn't, because she wasn't embodying the different qualities of the devil. She didn't embody them. She didn't live them out. So we know she didn't have a contract with the devil. Let me give you another example, because I'm just talking, just want to talk. Let's talk. You want some money in your life, you have an option. Either you can get the money the fast way, You got to steal, kill, and destroy. You got to sell drugs, or you got to ruin somebody else's career, or, whatever you got to do. You got a shortcut. Have you sold your soul to the devil? Chances are that you have. How do we know that? Because the devil has certain criteria. He do things a certain way. And once a person has embodied the devil, signed the contract, begin to act out those characteristics of the devil, so to say, we know they done signed a contract with the devil. But if a person says, okay, I know I must sustain myself in this world, so I'm going to go work this job or start my own business or move forward on my with my hobby and make it a business or a career, make it lucrative to me and beneficial to me. But they're not stepping on anybody's toes. They're not ruining, helping to, or contributing to the demise of someone else. Have they sold their soul to the devil? The answer is no. Because again, the devil has particular behaviors and criteria and the way he act and the way he do and those kind of things. If a person is not embodying that as they move forward on their personal aims, passions, and desires, then no, they haven't went into an agreement with the devil. So I go back to the question, can you sell your soul to the devil? Yes, you can. And if a person has sold their soul to the devil, it is obvious in what they do, or how they do what they do in this world. And what they do or how they do it would be in line with what we call the negative energy, the more things that bring this existence into a state of hell. It is about kill, steal, or destroy, or something like that. I'm just talking. Remember, there's no order or structure to this video. I'm just talking. Now, all these things. Oh, I was asking, are you important enough? How important are you? What is your contribution to the state of this earth? Are you working to bring it to a paradise or hell? Are you working with negative energies or positive energies? Do you know the difference? How important are you? Not ask how important are you, how important are you in this world? I'm here to let you know you're so important that yes, the devil will come offer to buy your soul. You might not hear him ask, but he's asking, or he's asked, or he will. I talk about all these things. I'm just all over the place. I talk about all these things because how can I say it? For me, in my life, it was challenging early in my life. And why was that? It's because, number one, I asked too many questions. I'm telling y'all, I had so much difficulty in science and math because all I want to say to every instructor I ever had, teacher, I don't care what grade I was in, well, why? Well, why? Well, why? Well, why? And I'm constantly getting D's and F's, stressed out. My mom was stressed out. D's and F's. Why? Why? It wasn't until college one day I'm sitting up there still asking why. Why? Felt in the same doggone class over and over again. Why? 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 And as I ask why, I look down at the textbook and I see this formula. I don't know if I was in something, algebra something, I don't know. And all I heard was a boom, big dummy. Stop asking why. And learn the formula and apply it. Okay, I will. After I listened to that voice, positive energy, my higher self, and I stopped asking so many questions. Why? And learned the instructions, learned the formulas, and applied them. I was whizzing through those classes after all that time. I bring up that experience because all this I talked about and so much more has to do with us coming to understand what we're dealing with. Many of the issues I faced in life were because I kept asking why, 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 why. Finally, it came to me. Understanding, enlightenment, as I sit in this cup of knowledge. Fool, stop asking so many whys. Learn the instructions to the game and follow them. And I'm saying that because, again, this world, we sit in this cup, this world, on this earth, with all this information around us. And we're not aware that we sitting in the middle of the answer. It's like a 1,000-piece puzzle thrown up in the air. And it's saying, now solve it. You got 30 minutes to solve it. We're sitting in the middle of all these puzzle pieces in this cup of information. But we're not figuring things out, and we're failing. What I learned was that, again, fool, stop asking why. Learn the rules, learn the formulas, and apply them. What they call them in math? Equations. Learn the equations and apply them. Stop asking why. And I can say this on a spiritual level. My why was answered. Took many years, but it was answered. I'm happy that I end up learning the rules to whatever I was doing and the equations or the formulas and just applying them. Because it was a long time before my why was answered. Well, let me tell you what I found out. So you ain't got to go through what I went through. Why? Why? About just about anything. Well, it's because in the beginning, just like when I dealt with the how to change shit into sugar, a lesson in alchemy, I referred back to the medieval times, a time when we didn't have all our base elements categorized, found and categorized. We still probably have yet, to identify everything in this world because it's so abundant. But what we have found has been categorized and is being used when appropriate. And so it's taken many years for us to discover the different aspects of this life, the different puzzle pieces, and to find out how they fit in together. So people dying generation after generation, but we don't lose that information. We categorize it, we log it, we categorize it, we save it, we pass it down to the next generation. Here's our lineage, cultural lineages. And the next generation picks it up and begins from there. That information is not lost. We keep it. This is why you don't go, why? Because you've been given so much information. Now that you've been given the information, learn the rules to the game, the equations, the formulas, and apply it. During the course of our existence, we will continue to discover different things and research them and investigate them and find out their properties and apply them, see how they relate to everything else in order to, get answers to future questions. Why is this place becoming a place of hell? Well, stop asking. Look around. See what's going on. What is the formula for hell? It's right here with us. I just talked about earlier when I was rambling about how we put all our power into other entities, and we don't know if they're for us or against us. Or why isn't this earth a paradise anymore? Kind of hit on that. I've talked about selling your soul to the devil. All these things are just things that exist in this realm that We are not, we're busy asking why, why are we here? Why this? Why that? And we get frustrated. We stop asking. We almost like we stop caring. But we really don't. It's just kind of pushed to the back of our minds, to the back of our hearts. You have to apply what you know. And that's what we're failing to do, is applying what we know. That's why I opened this video up talking about psychics and clairvoyance, and yada, yada, yada. And the other video talking about alchemists, chemists, and yada, yada. You got to apply what you know. A chemist is able to apply chemistry things, the elements, and the combination of the elements in a way that is useful. Why? Because that person, that chemist, has been able to focus on that discipline. Why is that chemist or chemistry successful? Because generation after generation after generation, information has been categorized, has been defined. We hand it down and we work with it until we discover something else. The chemist is also successful because he's able to, again, he's able to apply it to life right here, right now, and able to make it make sense. His concentration or her concentration is on that field. Becoming aware, knowledge, sharing, building upon it. Same thing exists when I speak of psychics and mediums and stuff. They've had the opportunity to focus, to pay attention, to understand. I guess what this video is really about is this world, this realm, is self-contained system. And it is the physical realm, three-dimensional realm. Earth is within it. We are on Earth. So we must learn the rules to this realm. And stop asking why, or ignoring things completely because we can't make sense of it. We must apply what we've accumulated over time in order to keep moving us and advancing us. Again, back to psychics, mediums, clairvoyants, yada, yada. These people have had time to tap in, to pay attention, to listen to those old stories and learn how to apply them. Wisdom. Something that you too possess is what I'm trying to get you to see. You must learn the rules to a particular puzzle piece. Get all the information from the past. Apply that, learn it, apply it to your life. It becomes your field, a place of your focus and of your energy. What I've come to understand for real is that no one person can figure out all these pieces. This system is too intricate. It's too abundant. That's why we have fields. That's why we have disciplines, is what I'm trying to get to. What's your field? What's your discipline? How important are you to this system? You are very important to this system. It is up to you to choose which puzzle piece you will study intensely and bring that information to the rest of humanity. Again, are you contributing to this world to help it bring descend down to a hell or to ascend up into a paradise? Can you sell your soul to the devil? Yes. Once you have your field of study, so to say, your expertise, your passion, your hobby, you can use that information negatively or positively, in multiple ways. Yes, you can sell your soul to the devil. And why is this? Why are you so valuable to the devil, so to say, or the positive or negative side? It is because you have works that you will do here. There are things that you are going to learn here. And it is how you apply them into this world. Because based on how you apply them to this world, ends up determining the state of the world. If not now, in the future. So this is just a loose conversation. Again, I just felt like talking. And one more thing I just want to throw in here is just at the end is, have you ever thought about all of this, what do you call it, excavation? And I'm not talking about excavating ancient artifacts like in art history I studied. Not that included, but not that. I'm talking about the excavations where they're just digging down in the ground. Guess what they're looking for? They're looking for more elements to add to the periodic table is gone. The periodic table that we have. They need to find them first. Then test them to find out their properties. And then see what they can do with it. If I mix it with this, what's going to happen? If I mix it with that, what's going to happen? And so understand that we're still searching. We're still learning. You are an important part of this system. Don't underestimate your wealth, is what I'm trying to get you to see. Your soul holds value, as well as you within your physical body. While you're here, you are valuable to the present as well as to the future. Anyway, I guess I'm just tired of talking now. About to go to bed. But thank you for coming to Can Angels Fly and just talking with me. Bye.